Yeah. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Come on.
Everybody should have the right to make comic books. And up until recently, they did. And everybody should have the right to sort of coexist within this community of people who disagree. And until
Who doesn't have
recently,
the right to make
that
comic
was the
books right
case.
now?
Me?
So
How do you like that
who
one,
doesn't have
Robert?
the right? You make comic books, Ethan, or at least you would if you did less streams.
Robert, I want to introduce you to Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet. Here is the
Looks like a comic book.
Beautiful chromium cover written
well,
by or drawn
Yeah,
by
exactly.
Jay Lee.
You're allowed to make comic books, Ethan. You made a comic book.
I have had to fight every step of the way to be able to do this. Every single day, I have fought
Okay,
for the survival.
wait. You see how big Ethan is? He has to fight just to step. Of course he had to fight every step of the way. He's fighting for dear life. Look at him.
My family against people who want to make it impossible for me to make comics, including now that I'm Shadowbanned on Indiegogo because of complaints, because of activism, and people like you.
Is that why?
This isn't something that I've just.
Why do you
I'm
have
allowed to.
complaints,
I've had
Ethan?
to fight for this, and everybody
What
else
type of
has had to
complaints am I
fight for
going to
it
get,
too.
Ethan, if I look under there?
No. Not
Why
that.
are you
People
banned from
actually writing and
Indiegogo?
saying you're platforming. Robert, do you think we're a hate group? You think these people? You think Graham Nolan? You think Irene
Yes.
Stokowski? You think Dan Fraga? They're a hate group?
Yes, Comicsgate is a hate group, Ethan.
Then you're the problem.
Happy.
And you are the reason why Comicsgate needs to exist, because people who disagree with woke are called a hate group and are deplatformed. So we need to exist. We need to continue to do this because hate groups don't get to make comics. They go to jail. They get deplatformed. They have all of their opportunities taken away from them, which is what you do, what you're trying to do when you're calling
are you
my
literally
movement, which is
arguing
against
that
you.
hate groups should be able to say?
I'm saying we're not a hate group. I'm saying you call people a hate group who disagree with woke as a tactic to deplatform people and to suppress free speech and free expression in comics. You are a problem. You are part of poison. You are the reason why Comicsgate must continue to exist. And you will be stamped out. You understand? History is going to look back at you and everything that you stand for with shame.
I might have went too far. I don't know. Here we go. I am always mean to Jews, push him out like a bad dude. I always wanna tell them what to do, put on a train to places they had never been to. Maybe they would find it cool. I'm so mean to Jews. Maybe I am not that bad. I hang out with Japanese, maybe order some Chinese. They take out of context when I try to kill them. Logic is just trolling that won't be unseen. I am always mean to Jews. It's been pretty tough since the German depression. If I came off rough, it was not my intention. I am always mean to Jews, push him out like a bad dude. I always wanna tell them what to do, and they tell me F you. Better pray to baby Jesus. You wouldn't like me angry at you. I'm so mean to Jews. I don't really hate them, it's good. I don't wanna kill them, let's do. Let's go on a great cruise. Drink a bottle of Grey Goose. Smoke a little meth and bang dudes. Yeah.
I really don't like Hitler. No, I would have approved of what he did. I really
stunning and brave of you.
Stunning and brave.
That's awful. I really am sorry for everybody who saw that, who was offended by it.
Why would they be? Look, he loves Jews. He loves them. That's the whole point of the song.
It was just a song, Dean.
It's got a cute dog. I'll give it that. What is up, guys? I am your host, DA Talks, and I'm joined as always by Vicky, who surprisingly didn't interrupt this time.
I thought about it.
Yeah, I about punching you in the face. Go major choke out on you.
God, choke out. Damn, he ran away fast.
That was one thing I thought about maybe we should add to the stream, was that choke out thing, just because that was fucking hilarious.
Man, if I run into you in Minecraft, you big manlet, like, Jesus, he's only like 5 feet tall, people.
I just loved how he's like, if I ran into you in person, I'd roundhouse your teeth in. Like, dude, a chick? You're gonna roundhouse a chick's teeth in? Like, and then he deletes the tweet too. That's the best part. Like,
well, he deleted the tweet because I said something untoward. My patois is pretty decent, and I guess he styles. He went after TJ, and it was all this Jamaican slang, trying to act like he was one of the Jamaicans that he hangs out with, and acting all big and bad. So all of my answers were in Jamaican slang, and I think it kind of weirded him out.
Yeah.
Plus, he's just a total pussy.
He's just white trash. Imagine
coming just like for no reason. He comes at me I wake up in the morning and there's a tweet from him. It was something like, at the Vickyverse, your vagina smells. And I'm thinking,
well, yeah, it does. But like, how did you know? Was that what you were thinking?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You're all the way in Britain. Does it smell
That's
bad?
It can't be that bad.
Jeez.
And so I called him a pussy. And then he threatened to kick my teeth in. And then I told him, I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not scared of you. And he deleted his tweet.
Yeah.
And then went on to post
Well, good for
pictures of
you.
himself.
I'm glad you
And then
told him.
I know. And as soon as he ran away,
Yeah.
right? He posts pictures of himself at the gym posing. It was the saddest, just, oh God. It was so complete. He
So-
went from being a, yeah.
So, not that we're going to focus on this very long, sorry guys, but like somebody on Twitter, I think it was like Matt what is it? Trinity?
Trin.
Yeah, Matt
Yeah.
Trin. Yeah, sorry. He said that he like is known as the guy that yelled at his mom to get him chocolate milk over Xbox Live. Is that a real thing?
I do not know. It's quite possible it's a real thing.
Because that
Yeah.
would be just hilarious. But anyways, Captain Chokeout is not a main point of this stream.
No,
he's just a very big joke. And we're talking about
He
Chokeout.
is.
Crash the Fash.
Yes. Captain Chokeout. He is a regular on the Jack show. Ethan brings him on every once in a while. He's the drunk, trashy Brit that thinks he's a badass.
So
We should
he's-
probably say
yeah.
hello to everybody. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, let's say hello.
Hello, the real official amazing Adam. Nice to see you here.
Yeah, I see quite a few people in the chat. We got Vicky
Of course.
saying hi to Amit.
Hello, Amit.
Amit says hello, Vicky. Then we got IG Mars saying, glad you're covering this, Vicky. I know the reporting is going to be the complete and unbiased.
Maybe a little biased, but it'll be complete and factual at least.
Yeah.
My commentary will definitely not be unbiased. That's for certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prawn Delarose says, Comicsgate King. Okay, then. Puma Fist says, at Amit Reina, not yet. And that was an earlier question asked by Amit. Wilberforce Rooster says, back Wonder Island and Kakashi Murder Dolls, not Shadowbanned on Indiegogo.
Yes. Dude, that Kakashi Murder Dolls looks really cool, people. So if you hadn't backed it, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puma Fist says, I'm supposed to be debating organized chaos next week. That's cool.
What are two people that are like quote anti-CG debate? Like, I don't understand.
Well,
I guess we'll find out next week if it's true.
I guess, well, I'm sure it's true if he said it. I don't think Puma Fist would lie about that.
I don't think he would lie about it either.
Prawn Delaro says, my good friend Ethan fights diabetes.
He does.
He
He
fights just to breathe. Clearly. Just look at him. Then we say, and then he says, and SJWs. Yeah. Luster
sure.
Dog says, with John Malin missing, Ethan went ahead and stole his style. Just needs to lower the beanie a bit more.
If that was one of the new red all cap sweatshirts, it kind of came off like a bathrobe. I thought he was wearing his bathrobe earlier when I first saw it. Yeah. Not a good look, Ethan.
I mean, not. It's really hard to find a good look when you look like Ethan.
He dyed his beard recently too.
Yeah.
Or re-dyed his beard. Just let it go gray, man. Just fucking age gracefully.
Yeah. Focus on maybe, I don't know, upping your health game.
Or maybe
instead of dyeing
actually
your beard.
finishing a fucking comic book.
Yeah, that too. Shen Yongo says, are y'all going to talk about JDA's meltdown over Common America Volume 6 and Akira? No, but we are going to be covering something else with John Delarose. Although that's a thing, we can talk about it. But let's watch this clip of this circus freak fight.
Dude, Mecha, dude, I don't know what your fucking like angry hard-on is about me. I was trying to just like be friendly with you and shit, and then you just turned into such a fucking bitch at me. I don't know what the hell it is. I thought we were friends, Mecha. I thought we were friends. A random welcome to your dank stream debut. We're so happy to
Why
have
have
you.
you been harassing me for years? What is your problem? You're kind of like these kids who talk and giggle.
Okay, sorry. I just have to point out just how creepy what's his face? Cider. Cider just always looks just so fucking weird.
Man, the green light,
Like,
it's
stop
just-
looking into the camera.
He does it, and he does it like from that
Weird
you know,
angle.
that 3/4 profile, and it just like
Just
turns
stop
his
it.
eyes into the looks out of the corner of his eyes into the camera.
I
It's
feel
just
dirty when he looks
I
into
know,
the
I
camera
feel-
like that. Like, dude,
it
stop.
makes me it does. It makes me want to bathe. Like seriously.
And giggle behind people's backs.
I'm glad
and
you're
have,
I
like,
don't
no
talk and
idea
giggle
what the
behind
hell
it.
your
I'm
problem
very
is.
open about it.
No, I
This
think
is
she has
public.
you there, John. I'm sorry.
So can you guys just stop harassing people? Like, I don't understand what your problem
It's
is.
not
You're gonna, like, make
it's
any
not
friends.
harassing to EFAP public content and laugh at it on the internet.
I
That's
don't
all
care.
it is.
You know, that's fine. You can take public content, but you don't have to fucking show up.
All I said was hi.
I don't
Mecha.
care.
I
what
am
you
the victim
said.
here.
You guys, you
I am the
started
victim
by
here.
Being an asshole on Twitter by
I'm
sending
the
me
victim.
some religious shit. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking
trying
see
to-
it.
I'm
and you've
trying
been
to
doing
save your
nothing but
soul,
the same
Mecha
thing. I've
Random.
asked you numerous times to leave me alone.
Friend and
Comics
send you
and
super
shit.
chats.
You know, I talk about Star Trek and Star Wars
I love Star
and
Trek.
crazy stuff. I don't want to talk to you about it, though. Do you understand that? I don't want to fucking associate with you.
Oh no.
Do you understand that? I've asked you repeatedly, leave me alone. I don't want you on my Twitter. I blocked you for a reason, and you don't understand that.
Unblock me so we can. we can be
No,
friends.
why should I? I don't want to fucking talk to you about it.
Over and over and over again. But if you stopped being a harpy bitch to everybody, you'd make
Fuck
money
you!
and everybody'd have fun
Fuck
with
you!
it.
I don't want you to be my friend. Do you understand that?
I'm just trying
You
to help.
don't
Mecha.
deserve
I'm just
it.
trying to help.
You have.
It's
Here you go.
literally
Here
what
you go.
you're
You
doing
won't
right
listen
now.
to a
It's
woman, so
amazing.
here's a man.
Rob, my boy, what's going on, my friend? How you
Here you
been?
go. No, you tell him.
How you doing, brother?
You won't
Good to
listen
see
to
you.
a woman. You need to tell him to leave me alone.
We have Rob
Just drop it.
Shlomo
Come
from his
on.
own channel here on the channel. This is like this is a bucket list for me. Rob, I'm very happy to have you on the show. How you been?
Well, John, you know, listen, it's nothing
John, if you
personal.
were a fucking man, you would let it go. You would know that a woman whipped your ass today. Fuck
What?
you.
You're shrieking on the
All
internet.
right, well,
this is hilarious.
just do me a favor, just you know,
Oh,
leave her alone.
Rob.
Just come on, just
Rob, I will continue to have fun on the internet without your permission. And if you guys want to have fun and make money,
you know.
I don't
on
want you
YouTube,
harassing
then
me, dude.
that's the deal.
It's
Women
fine,
are
you know,
usually
listen,
this
it's
mad, but
fine.
big
Do
temps
what you
are-
do. What
okay,
you
we
do.
got those.
You know, that's fine.
Got
It's
those.
fine, man.
Support you and be friendly with
I
you.
know.
Just don't allow
Can I say something? I know you don't like
Yes.
John. To put it mildly. Yeah, PewDiePie. He said this way a long time ago. I actually did a video of it. That when your channel is doing poorly,
Leave me alone, or
the
I'm
worst-
changing.
I'm just trying to.
No,
give you
I'm
some,
not even gonna tell you.
some real advice.
Here,
We're-
leave
we're
me
just
alone.
trying to help,
Leave me
Becca.
alone.
Yeah,
We're just trying to help.
Just
I'm
leave
just
me
trying to-
alone, people.
I have no
Matt,
dog in this
just
fight.
leave me
so I'm
alone.
not
$2.
trying to-
Is
I'm not
this
trying
the
to pick on
rage
you.
What
of the
part of
childless
leave me
woman?
alone?
It is.
John Delaroz, do you not understand?
It's Della Rose.
Okay.
Like, please
I
don't,
don't care.
pronounce
It's
my.
the rice.
See
And
that?
just-
You're fucking
I'm imparting wisdom.
help. I don't want your help. I don't want your help. I don't
Oh,
want your
she's saying it like that Disenchanted trailer.
It's like the Disenchanted movie.
I don't want
Is that
your
her life? Her real life?
No.
Mecca, you mad Tom wrecked you. That's what this is about at the end of the day, Hatch. I agree. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I'm not even that good of friends with Tom, so it's I'm not really in part of those circles. It's kind of an odd thing. Oh no, that's not okay, Mecca. Please stop that. Thank you. We're gonna remove you from the stream.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you who didn't see it on the stream when it happened, we can't show it, but on the phone that Mecca was holding was a picture of some woman's spread eagle at the angle, like from right between her legs.
It was very odd.
It was
To
very
say the least.
odd. I guess she was attempting to, do something to get his stream flagged. I guess it didn't, it's members only. So who the hell, like, what member in fucking JDA's group is going to flag the stream? But there were no winners there. None at all. It was just a shit show.
Yeah, it really was.
Right.
What I really, really do find hilarious, though, is that, like, Rob Rob comes on, though, and he's just like, could you just leave her alone? And John's like, no. And Rob's like, yeah, that's cool, man. Just do what you gotta do. Do what you can do. Like, Jesus Christ, Rob.
Christ. What a total
Jesus.
Yeah. But, when it's so weird, because I was telling Dean this earlier, when JDA is pretty much just absorbed Testify shtick, right? Like the whole
And a lot of semen.
the whole I'm the victim here, just everything he does, the going into people's chats constantly and just harassing them, demanding to be on stream, blah blah blah. And then I'm watching that clip earlier with Dean, and Cider's like, it's like Disenchanted, and John's like, it's just like Disenchanted, and I'm like, God, is there anything original that comes out of that brain? I mean, it's not his books. We all know that. But
no, there's not.
There's not. And Mecha Random's just such a fucking hot mess. She really is a hot mess.
She's something.
Just...
It was a circus freak fight, guys.
It was. It was just a circus freak fight.
They're both just...
It was the sideshow.
Yeah.
At the carnival. Yeah.
I see Thomas Royloop says, we won.
Yes, Thomas, you did.
I think we all did.
Hello, Risey. How you doing, my love?
I hope you guys appreciated the little scrolling text. There's like this text that scrolls that's like John's the victim here, but I put John's the victim of genital warts. John's the victim of his uncle when John was 10. John's the victim of Castro
That was a little
Street.
harsh.
John's the victim of diabetes type 2. So I hope you guys appreciated that.
Thomas. JDA can't even bribe people into liking his books. That's why he wants Hut around, because Hut's one of the only people with negative integrity. Well, there's a lot of people in that circle with negative integrity. Just look at Cider.
Do I have to?
No.
He just looks so fucking weird.
I just no, I don't need to wash again today. It'd be better if we didn't. But Risey's right. The best part is when the super chats cover his face. So,
Yeah.
I think we're all done with John.
I think we are.
Yeah.
I think next we're going to be, I think there's a PowerPoint?
I know, right? God, how old-fashioned. But it was the best way to get all this shit across.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ta-da! Why is Indiegogo shadow banning Comicsgate? I don't think it's just Comicsgate. There's no real way to tell, right? The only data I have access to is Comicsgate, the scrubbing of Comicsgate. Well, comics from Indiegogo. You can't exactly do a search for something that's unsearchable, which is what this code does, right? It keeps any search engine from indexing it. It also keeps the internal search on Indiegogo from showing the campaign. You can go to you can go to the creator. It's all still there. You can still, it's not donate. You can still buy your freaking comic book, but you can't find it. The idea is not to be able to find it on Google or on the search. And there's plenty of reasons for this. Part of it, and believe it or not, and I was JDA tried giving me shit about this, but it actually goes back to March, when JDA decided to dox Liam Gray on a stream and in a video, and was then booted from Indiegogo for a privacy violation. JDA then, according to him, from it's on his Twitter that's, that was suspended. He filed his intent to sue with Indiegogo. You have to, according to their terms of service, you have to actually let them know that you're going to sue, and you have 30 or 60 days. I can't remember which off the top of my head right now, in order to, that you have to wait before you do so. Now, you can't actually sue Indiegogo. I don't know if any of you have actually read it, but it is in California. They have a clause in their terms of service. You are required to go to arbitration. You don't actually sit in a courtroom. And,
yeah, that's called an arbitration clause.
It is. It's an arbitration clause.
And the courts will take it the fuck out of the courtroom if there's an arbitration clause and say that you have to handle this in arbitration.
Arbitration. Yeah.
So that kind of like.
Yeah, you're kind. There's no real, in the classic sense of a lawsuit. There's no real lawsuit. Okay.
You do have to work something out, though.
Yeah. And they're able to do this because in Indiegogo's terms of service, there is actually an out. In the first 30 days after you sign up for Indiegogo, you can let them know that you will not abide by the arbitration clause, and that you will go to court if there's an issue.
And surely everybody
has knows
done
that.
this, right?
Yeah, I'm sure John Delarose did it years ago when he joined up. Okay. They did a lot of changing to their terms of service back when Vox Day sued them in a class action lawsuit, and pretty much won. Right? They'd taken down his campaign. I think they were withholding all the funds. And so he took them to court. So now you have to go to arbitration. You can only get out of it if you tell them you want out of it. And otherwise you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, within the first 30 days.
Within the first 30 days. So that happened in March. It was about April-ish when JDA said that he was actually going to sue, and that he'd filed his intent to, sue Indiegogo. And of course, all the big guys in Comicsgate, Ethan, at first, they kind of quieted down about it, but at first they were all rah. JDA should sue for being, incorrectly, unfairly banned for Indiegogo. I mean, everybody in comics, Comicsgate was like, yeah, JDA, go, rah. It was kind of sad. The following month, go ahead and go to the next one, Dean.
Make me.
In April, yeah, I will. In April, Becky Center was named the new CEO of Indiegogo. And not for nothing, when new people come into a company, shit changes. It always does. And I guess it would be a transitional period for Indiegogo. They've had, they're trying to grow it. They've been having issues, mostly to do with their trust and safety, right? So in March, April, May. This isn't one of the slides, but in May, there was an article that I found about a crowdfund for something called GigaDrive. GigaDrive had showed up in March of 2021 on Indiegogo.
Raised a bunch of money.
Raised $1.7 million.
Didn't come through.
not only Giga Drive was some sort of SSD, super fast SSD.
Yeah, the
right?
fastest SSD to ever
ever,
come out.
ever,
Yeah.
ever. Forbes said so. That's why they made $1.7 million. And the guy dipped, right? It never fulfilled.
People were mad.
People were mad. Not only did he dip, he moved from the address that Indiegogo had on file.
Changed phones, new phone, who
Changed
dis?
phone.
You know?
Yeah, he's getting new
Indiegogo's trying to call him.
identity.
He's like, new phone, who dis? No,
He
that's
living in-
the old. No, I'm not him. Sorry, wrong number.
Right.
Bye.
He living high on the hog in South America somewhere by now, right? And then in July of go ahead and flip now. In July, Dean.
Yeah, I flipped.
They went ahead and contracted with a company called SpecTrust for their trust and safety. It's not that they went and they got a new trust and safety board. They hired a company with
They
an
outsourced
AI. Sort of. They outsourced it to an AI, right? And this AI is the idea is to enhance the customer experience. And the way they're enhancing the customer experience is using every data scraping tool they can on Indiegogo. They can now follow every single campaign for ticket management. Every time someone posts an update, if you don't respond to your comments quickly enough, then and it's an anti-fraud thing as well. So this is their new toy over at Indiegogo. And now we get to October, which is about the 3 months it would take for them to set up this new computer system, right? You gotta love Shelley Lopresti, man.
No, you don't. You
You
really don't.
gotta. You just gotta.
Surprising anybody does. I would say it. It's a little surprising.
So, Aaron Lopresti's Wraith of God 2 is one of the campaigns that was, quote, Shadowbanned. And so Shelley goes off to Indiegogo because Mama Bear be mad now, Dean.
Yeah.
Mama Bear is mad.
They haven't the time to introduce them to Mama Bear. Like, I'm so sure Indiegogo is scared of Shelley Lopresti.
Right.
And time to introduce her to Mama Bear. Like, okay, Shelley, calm down. Take your meds.
And can you say class action? Well, I can say it, but you can't do it.
It's in their terms of service.
Yeah, that's the next slide.
I mean, we've already talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. So, legal disputes are not only subject to arbitration, there is a class action waiver. You can only go to that you agreed to when you signed up to Indiegogo. It's so sad that I know the damn terms of service better than anybody else on that fucking. Anyway, yes. So you cannot partake in a class action suit anymore because of JDA's good friend Vox Day. See how it all circles around? It all links up, comes together. So next we have a list of every of the current, and this list was current as of around 7:30 or so my time Eastern, of the campaigns that are currently no index tagged on Indiegogo. So you got Wreck Planet, War Party by some guy named Justin Murphy, which frankly I hadn't even heard of until it showed up on the list. Rainbow the Brute, Rocket One, Johnny Phantasm Extreme 93 by PTP, Wraith of God Blood Hunters by Aaron Lopresti, Loose Threads by Mark Polton, Core Draft The Reckoning by Andy Smith, Frog G by Jason Bascom, The Private American by Mike Barron, Graveyard Shift, Omega Storm. I forgot to put John Malin's name there, but that's okay because he's missing. Ghosts of Metacom Key by Graham Nolan, Vestige 3, American Bliss Part 1, Rocket Mission 2, and Inglorious Rex number 2.
Yes, and you guys all think, once again, that this has to do with the fact that they're Comicsgate. But in reality, it's because they all fucking suck. And that's also why they're Comicsgate. Let's just,
let's all be clear.
Yeah, let's be very clear. It's not because they're Comicsgate. That's a symptom of the greater issue that they all just fucking suck. And that's probably why, they're Shadowbanned.
Why they're Shadowbanned.
Yeah. But that's also why they're Comicsgate.
Yeah.
You see,
all of these campaigns have something in common.
They're run by people that just fucking suck.
It's not that they're Comicsgate, and it's not that they may suck.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, let's go on to the next one. So, these campaigns, all of them had some sort of major movement in their funding in October, which is when the AI triggered and went online, right? Now you may say, but Johnny Phantasm and Wraith of God, Loose Threads, oh gosh, even Core Draft, these campaigns, that fucking Omega Storm, these campaigns, they didn't start funding in October. Go ahead next. But they all either ended or extended during October. Right. It's not just a matter of when they happen, because that's actually only important as to that's when the AI started doing its little business. All of these campaigns promoted that none of these are first time creators, right? At first I thought, oh, Frog G's a first time creator because it's Frog G's campaign, right? But it's actually on Indiegogo under Jason Bascom, and it's like his third or fourth campaign. I want to say it's his third. I might be wrong. It might be his fourth, right? But all of them have previous campaigns. Let's go ahead and flip to the next slide. And unfortunately for everybody in Comicsgate, it is against Indiegogo's terms of service to promote a new campaign on your old campaign's updates.
Yeah. Which is kind of like, I mean, to be honest, that's kind of lame. Like, you would think that they'd want that promotion. Like, if it's a Indiegogo project, you could promote another Indiegogo project. But still, it is against their rules, regardless.
You cannot. You can't promote you actually can't promote anything outside of that one campaign, that current campaign that you're updating. So you can't put a link to your eBay. You can't put a link to your next campaign.
Even if it's Indiegogo.
Even if it's Indiegogo.
And that's a new rule, right?
I don't know.
I could have sworn this was part of like the new changes.
I mean, it's possible, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So that almost every campaign probably has this issue.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the thing is, it's not a Comicsgate thing. It just happens to be that a lot of people in Comicsgate were breaking TOS unknowingly. But if you were to venture out and find other campaigns that were breaking TOS, probably have the same issue, guys.
Yeah. And the thing is Indiegogo, they can decide what kind of punishment they want to give you for breaking TOS, right? It's completely and totally at their discretion. They could boot you off of their system completely, like they did to John Delarose. They can close your campaign. They can make you unsearchable. What they really want you to be doing is they want you out there. They want you driving traffic to their site, right? They want you out on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, taking out ads on Google, on Facebook, whatever it is that you can do. They want you outside of Indiegogo, driving traffic to Indiegogo. They don't want you inside Indiegogo, driving the same Indiegogo users to another spot in Indiegogo, because that makes no sense for them, because they need all those other people coming in. Because people, they may come in, they back a comic book, they see something cool in games, or maybe some chick sees some weird makeup or fashion something or other doohickey, and maybe they'll back that too. But if you're just sending people to your next campaign and they never end up looking anywhere else in Indiegogo, it does Indiegogo no good. Right? So then we come along to the other campaigns that weren't on the blue list. They're now on the...
I just want to point out Wilberforce Rooster says, I guess Jawbreakers 4 was July and August, so Zach did that, but before the algorithm hit. Does seem to match up.
Yeah. It's everything that happens after October, mid-October. Right? So everything that happened before hasn't gotten hit yet. And those were all, and the campaigns where the updates aren't necessarily within the October timeframe. But because the campaign either extended, started, or ended in October, everything is being reviewed. Like everything is. John Malin's previous campaign to this Omega Storm, which I believe was just Graveyard Shift 4, right? His last 3 updates were just promos for Omega Shift. That's all they were. And they don't want to see that. Right? So these ones are a little bit different. They all still have that same problem.
Of creators that just fucking suck.
Of promoting in your last campaign. That this war party, but they also have other issues as well that I want to point out. Just because it's kind of important.
Puma Fist, the argument is pretty sound. When you only have a pool of people and you're not bringing new people in, that pool does diminish and people leave. It's not going to continue to make them money. And that's pretty much why CG is, dying as a whole. They're not pulling new people in. They only have the pool that they have, which continues to shrink. And you'd see that also on Indiegogo if you only had Indiegogo's customers and you didn't bring new people in, which is the argument.
Yeah. And believe it or not, Comicsgate doesn't make Indiegogo that much money in the grand scheme of things.
Not when it comes to the whole platform. Like, Jesus Christ. Comicsgate is like a nip. Like,
yeah,
it's such a small amount of the whole platform.
In the last 2 years, Comicsgate...
No, but that pool doesn't continue to still pay. It shrinks.
Yeah, the pool is shrinking.
And it shrinks pretty fast when you're not bringing new people in.
Comicsgate is not making as much money this year as it did last year, which didn't make as much money as the year before. In the last 2 years, Comicsgate has made Indiegogo somewhere around $400,000, which sounds, to me and you, that's a lot. That's a shit ton of money, but it's not when they're making, I don't know, somewhere around $10 million a year. They don't really need Comicsgate to pay their bills. They're
and
not
they
depending.
probably couldn't use Comicsgate to pay their
Right.
bills.
They're not
regardless.
depending. They're not depending on Comicsgate.
They couldn't if they wanted to.
They couldn't if they wanted to. Exactly. Right. So War Party by Justin Murphy. He actually updated his last campaign on 10/22. Well, no, I'm sorry. He updated War Party on 10/22. So it's looking at updates as well, right? His previous campaign is in demand and was due in June of 2021. Rocket is still in demand. Its due date was December of 2021, and it fulfilled for 22. And it was last updated on 10/17 with a promo for Rocket 2. American Bliss Part 1, which was just added today, came online, was launched 10/21 of 2022. But its previous book is the previous campaign is this Perfect 10 issue 3, which launched 2/24 of 22. It is in demand. Its original fulfillment date was July. It still has not fulfilled. Its date changed to October. But here's the thing. Go ahead and flip to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, next slide. On Indiegogo, and you agree to this because it is in your terms of service. When you put a campaign in demand, what you are doing is you are promising to fulfill the perks that you sold people while the campaign was active within 90 days of your fulfillment date. Right?
Okay, wait.
So-
Sorry. We have to address Pumafist's comment. Okay.
Again?
Yes.
Okay.
He says, okay, but CG is saying that they are getting less donations because they are Shadowbanned, and I looked myself and projects are unsearchable on Indiegogo, so why is Indiegogo doing that? Well, they're doing it because they're breaking TOS and therefore find that the campaigns are either fraudulent or shouldn't be promoted because of their blatant disregard of TOS.
Yeah, I wouldn't say fraudulent.
Well, no,
but
I said they're
are-
either fraudulent because some of them are. When you're not, giving what the person paid for, cash grab, it's fraudulent.
That one is fraud. Okay, I'll give you cash grab. I will give you cash grab.
So it's a penalty,
sure.
basically. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, we're not going to continue to let you guys take money when you're breaking the TOS.
What they're actually saying is you're going to have to work for it.
Yeah, you're not going to use us while breaking TOS.
Yeah. You're going to have to work for your money. You're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to do what you need to do to raise money. And actually, Shane Davis's campaign right now stands at $132,904. He has 20 days left on his campaign. 20 days before he's actually ahead of his last campaign. At this point in his last campaign, he's actually doing better, and he's Shadowbanned. So to say that it is that detrimental to their campaigns that they are not searchable on Indiegogo, and most people come from the links in their YouTube chats. Most people end up on Indiegogo from their Twitters. Is sort of ridiculous, right? It may have an effect on some of the smaller campaigns, but I doubt it's much. I doubt that there's some major punitive effect on these campaigns happening. Because the numbers just aren't backing that up. So, just saying.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, so you have 90 days to fulfill your perks after your campaign goes into demand. And that's from 90 days from your fulfillment date. So, right, this guy, David Brink, who's doing American Bliss, his Perfect 10 book is already a month outside of the 90 days when the book was originally due. I don't think Indiegogo gives a shit if you change your fulfillment date. Right? Because when people backed his book, they thought they were getting it in July. That was the date he promised. And those are the people that the TOS says he has to fulfill to within the date promised, which was July and not October.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
It does to me, but to Puma Fist, he's still confused. He says, but if they are taking 10% under the table, why are they diminishing that by not allowing CG to make the most money possible? Well,
they don't take 10%, they get 5%.
And
CG's not they're not making less money because they're Shadowbanned Puma Fist. I just stated that. Like I said, Shane Davis is actually ahead of where he was this time with Inglorious Rex 1.
Yeah, they're just not allowing them to abuse IGG's platform and continue to break TOS. They're like, yeah, you can post it here, but you got to make the moves. We're not going to do it for you.
They're still letting them have their campaigns. They had the option. They had the option to close these campaigns and say, fuck you. But they didn't. And everybody's campaign is still up.
Yeah, they're not like, oh yeah, continue to benefit while breaking the TOS. They're like, yeah, you can post it here, but you got to work for it. That's not an argument. That's literally just what's happening, bro.
And that is actually what the go factor that we talked about last week.
It's not a conspiracy theory. These are the rules. These campaigns broke the rules, and that's why they're not searching. It's not like it's literally just fact, dude.
We talked about the go factor last week, which was your campaign doing better in the algorithm based on comments, how much money it makes, whether or not you're responsive to comments, whether or not you're doing updates. Half of these campaigns have no updates. Like Omega Storm, John Malin didn't update Omega Storm until he decided to re-up and extend the campaign. Right? He only tweeted it out like maybe a dozen times. And that's the stuff they don't want. That's, what they don't want to see you doing. They want to see you doing the exact opposite of what John Malin did. And so, yeah.
Sorry.
And it's not a matter of them saying this isn't some conspiracy. This is literally how each and every single one of this is what they all have in fucking common. It's the only thing they have in common is that they were promoting their new campaigns on their old campaigns updates. All of them.
Is it possible that Indiegogo is woke and doesn't like Mike Barron's The Private American? It's more likely that Mike Barron just fucking sucks.
No, Mike Barron doesn't just fucking suck. But the previous campaign, which was for the Thin Blue Line or whatever, the Blue Line, Thin Blue Line, that campaign, its last update is promoting The Private American.
Which is, once again, against their terms of service.
Now, if you really want to talk about it, Puma Fist, that AI is scrubbing through everything, right? So John Malin's Omega Storm, the trailer for Omega Storm starts off with some broad sitting in a chair and she's been decapitated. The violent imagery is also against terms of service. Mike Barron's trailer is all talk about terrorists and vigilantes and just all those keywords that, anybody would say kind of promotes violence, because that's literally what the book does. It's this guy who goes around playing vigilante at the border, right? And
They want stuff to
it's
be presentable to kids. Like, that's just,
yeah.
if it's not, it's
Shane
kind of
Davis,
against their terms of
Shane says
service.
Shane says his campaign went non-promotable when he put up his trailer for a comic that is all about base monsters MMA fighting. And that's all the imagery in his trailer. Right? So it's not this is like this it's not a matter of going woke. The AI isn't woke. The AI is just telling them that they need to follow the fucking rules. Like it's that simple. It doesn't care that Mike Barron's comic book is about vigilantes at the southern border because there's waves of illegals coming across.
No, it cares about the violent imagery, which is against their terms of service.
Exactly.
Pretty straightforward.
That's pretty easy.
The only conspiracy theory would be Comicsgate is getting banned because they're Comicsgate. That's a conspiracy theory. What we have here are blatant TOS breaks.
What we heard earlier in that first clip that we played of Ethan talking about how he's being kept from making comics and he's been shadow banned on Indiegogo because the SJWs are brigading Indiegogo and complaining about him. That was a conspiracy theory. That was complete and total bullshit. And I'll show you why in just a couple of minutes. Like that. So, hey. This brings us to Rainbow the Brute and Wrecked Planet, the Second Chance campaign. Rainbow the Brute is still in demand. That book was due December of 2021, well past the 90 days that he agreed to get that book into the hands of backers when he signed up for In Demand. The last update on his campaign was 11/6 of 2022. If he hadn't have freaking updated it, the campaign might have slid through. But no, he updated it for the first time in over a year. Right? So Rainbow the Brute is in violation of Indiegogo's terms of service. Wrecked Planet Second Chance campaign, he updated it on 10/19/2022. When he did, he promoted Rainbow the Brute. Wrecked Planet closed December 21. Was due. It was also due December of last year. That campaign is closed. Right? But Wrecked Planet Second Chance has promotion on a couple of different campaigns of his that are open, like the action figure campaigns. Those are still in demand. The Second Chance one is, at least. Rainbow the Brute, he decided to update his Wrecked Planet with, now that my book is done, I'm finally working on Rainbow the Brute. Ethan is in violation of the terms of service.
Yeah. And so this is, I mean, This is
And I know everybody's sitting there, you know, JDA is going to be EFAPing this and he's going to be terms of service or whatever the fucking shit he does.
tiptoeing
But
manlet.
late books. Well, those late books fucking matter.
Yeah, apparently it actually did matter, you fucking idiots.
You know what? I have been talking about how all of these late books are violations of the terms of service for almost 2 fucking years.
And they didn't take
And it's
the
finally
warning.
bitten them in the ass.
Yeah. So Puma Fist, this is like kind of, I'm not sure how much more we can stress the point. We might just have to agree to disagree. But you said you all have lost the script. The border is totally a hot button subject and it's political and companies are political. Okay. Companies are political? Sure, I'll give you that. But what the border has in common with all of these other books isn't their politics. It's the fact that it broke terms of service.
Terms of service.
Very blatantly. And we showed you what terms of service it broke. So is it a coincidence that this one got knocked out for politics, but these other ones, it's just a mystery? No, what they all have in common is TOS breaking. The other ones weren't political like the border. They broke terms of service, like Mike Barron's book. That's what they all have in common. To say that, Mike Barron's is because of politics, you have to actually prove that. That's a conspiracy theory.
Just because the Daily Wire wrote an article because Chris Braley, I think his name is, who's the guy running the campaigns, just because he got in touch with some guy at the Daily Wire and the Daily Wire wrote an article about it, they contacted Indiegogo and Indiegogo didn't get back to them because it's a TOS violation and Indiegogo's not going to they're not going to come out and tell anybody that it was a TOS violation. They just don't do that. That's just not policy. You know, this shit is all kept inside them. They may not even tell the creators. But if you can't figure out what's wrong with your fucking campaign because you didn't read Indiegogo's terms of service and the creator guidelines, that's on you.
I mean, there's very clear rules.
I should not be more familiar with the terms of service of Indiegogo than any creator on the platform.
But you are, because you have no life.
Because I have no life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? I've been collecting data on these campaigns for years now. Right? And it finally kind of actually came to fruition. And I know how all these campaigns have worked. Yeah. Rennie promotes Frog G. Right. And Frog G says, I don't know if it's still getting backers, but it's not like it's not getting play. People are still going to Indiegogo via the links in chats and people talking about them on their streams. For everybody, retweeting everybody else on Twitter.
Wait. Wait. If it broke the terms of service, then campaigns should be canceled. That's not up to you at all, bro.
It's not up to me.
It's not up to any of us. That's literally up to Indiegogo. You don't get to tell them how they get to run their business.
Indiegogo said, well, this is all new shit that we're actually finally enforcing. So instead of kicking them off the platform, unless it becomes really egregious, we're just going to make them non-searchable instead. I mean, Indiegogo's doing them a fucking solid.
Yeah, by not kicking them off completely.
By not kicking them off.
It's a weird thing to complain about.
And they actually, Michael, they can just kick them off the platform. What they will do is, like what they did to JDA, is they will let them keep the bulk of the money made while the campaign was actually active. And then they'd be responsible for refunding people for anything made after that. Or they could make the campaign owner repay Indiegogo all of the money, and they can take them to court for that. So you know, the Indiegogo could very easily shut down campaigns. They can shut down a campaign and say, you can keep all that money, but you're responsible for fulfilling the book. They can do that. They just won't make any more money. Like all of these campaigns, like the number of campaigns that are still in demand is astonishing, right? Right now, there are 15, I think there were 15 campaigns on my list, 14 or 15. It's getting late. And there are something like 150 campaigns currently in demand on Indiegogo. Some of them are ancient. Shinobi Sasquatch. Hey, Cal, you might want to take it off of demand before they find you in violation of terms of service. That book was due in 2019, right? Let's see. Dan Fraga's book, The Black Flag, Pineapple, whatever. That book was due January of last year. It's still in demand, right? Like they sit there and all of them are just God, what was it? People got mad. 40 at one point there were like 47 campaigns in demand that were all late. You know. So those people are lucky they're still on the fucking platform. Comicsgate has been using has been playing all over Indiegogo like it's the Wild West and they can just do whatever they want. You know? That it's their little playground, but there's a new sheriff in town and it's an AI that gives no fucks.
Yeah, and if this is a story of how Indiegogo is corrupt, just use Kickstarter, and also it's only corrupt because it allowed corrupt creators to be fraudulent. So
yeah. So let's go to the next one.
They're all just use Kickstarter.
And
also don't back Comicsgate books.
Let's get rid of that comment too. And this was my favorite, right? So Michael Bancroft, after I said we were going to be talking about this, tweets this out. Coders, is there a way we can do a blanket search of campaigns on Indiegogo that contain the below line of code? It's found on line 52, only Shadowbanned projects. It's the one I had at the beginning, the meta robots, no index tag, right? And is it a site-wide issue or is it just Comicsgate? It doesn't matter. Like, because it wouldn't just be Comicsgate. It would be all of comics. It would be the entire comics category. But if it is just Comicsgate, you guys are breaking the fucking terms of service. And how in the heck, like I couldn't go to Indiegogo. It's not like I can go on to Google and search for some sort of shadow banned, campaign in the tech category or the gaming category. If you want to find somebody who will program that bot for you, have fun. It's not that easy, but have at it. Of course, now that you've called for it, you want to hit the next one. Just so you know, Michael, you're not allowed to engage in activities that affect the functioning of the site. And that includes reverse engineer or take apart any aspect of the services to access any underlying information or use any kind of software to crawl or spider any part of Indiegogo.
Once again, just read the terms of service, guys.
Just read the fucking terms of service. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions before you launch a campaign, before you go in demand, before you do anything, just fucking ask them, man. It can't be that hard. Are there not? Well, I was going to say, the whole idea of Comicsgate was to have all these people that you could ask
Well,
questions of and
this
they
is-
could give you advice, but apparently they don't read the terms of service either.
Well, I mean, nobody does, apparently. Like, you have, this is just like Eric July with the PayPal terms of service, just read the terms of service, guys. If you're gonna be...
Yeah.
Well, like, that's the thing, right? Like, you don't always have to read terms of service. Like, you get a new iPhone, like, you update it. Yeah, sure, whatever. Fuck the terms of service. If you're gonna be depending on this thing for your business to make money off of, to feed your family, fuck you.
You want to play that last clip too?
Just fuck you for not reading the terms of service. I'm not saying that. You're saying that. I don't actually think the company is corrupt just because they continue to let them stay on. They just don't promote their shit. You're saying that's corrupt. I'm saying if it is, which I don't think it is, then that just means Comicsgate is corrupt for being fraudulent.
There's a reason they have a new CEO. There's a reason why they're now undertaking all of these measures to ensure consumer confidence. That's the thing you're missing, Puma Fist. This is about trying to assure consumers of their site that they're actually doing something, that they're keeping track, that there's not going to be some $1.7 million crowd fund with some guy who just walks away with all of the money. Like,
this is kind of a good thing.
This is actually a good thing. They now review the campaigns before they launch. Apparently, they weren't doing a very good job up until now, but things have changed. The corporate what's the word I'm looking for? It's getting late. We've been doing this a while. Culture, the corporate culture at Indiegogo is changing. And it's not about getting rid of Comicsgate because of their politics. It's about making sure people are actually, following rules.
And people are receiving their stuff. It's part of their, fraud prevention.
They have to worry about fraud prevention. If they don't worry about fraud prevention, God, I can't even talk anymore. They're going to lose their payment processors. Stripe's going to be like, fuck off, man. Do you think all those people who were pissed about their super late campaigns and ended up having to go to their credit card company and charge back? Like, how many, I don't even know how many people I saw on Twitter, how many people I saw in the comments of some of these Indiegogos talking about charging back their credit cards. Stripe doesn't like that, man. That kicks up their own fraud AI and it goes ding, 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 ding. And enough of that against Indiegogo, and they can't process payment. So they want to make sure that they're actually handling business on their end and that the creator owners are handling their business as well.
Yeah. So anyways, let's watch this.
Freshly shaved cleavage.
Shaved off all that chest hair that I've got.
It's not Anna. She's she doesn't have chest hair.
David G says, "Hey, Rainbow and Wrecked Second Chance Shadowbanned. Twould appear so. Yes, twould appear so. We will react to that when the time is right. In the meantime, we are going to proceed with business as usual, and just realize you cannot." When it comes to business, when it comes to being Comicsgate, when it comes to winning and fighting in the culture war, you don't get to just sit around. You don't get to make yourself comfortable. You don't get to be complacent. I mean, that's part of working in the big two is the reason why people die broke working for the big two is complacency. You go, this is fine. I get my $400 a page, $300 a page, and I don't know anything I'm doing, but I could live like this for a while until you no longer can, and then that's it. But we can't do that. We don't get to just sit around. We don't get to just live off of Indiegogo. We knew this was coming. We knew we were going to have to claim independence, completely cut off all ties to people. I mean, Indiegogo would be as nice as they've been to me for the past 4 years. They're a single point of failure. Yeah, that's something that we just have to acknowledge and just fix.
I mean, for me, this has always been stage one,
What happens when you actually are that single point of failure and not the company? And what happens when you take your lackadaisical bullshit and decide to start another crowdfunding company? Or if you go to Kickstarter and you try to pull the same shit, Kickstarter's a little bit nastier about letting you run a second campaign when you haven't fulfilled one.
Yeah.
Right. So, or almost any other crowdfunding site. Comicsgate has been lucky with Indiegogo. Like he said, they have been extremely nice to him. But the single point of failure isn't Indiegogo. It's just not. It's literally Ethan. It's John Malin. It's Shane Davis. It's Mark Poulton. It's all of those guys who couldn't be asked to read the terms of service and actually, follow them. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's my sermon for the night. Yep. Y'all good, Dean?
Yeah, I'm good.
You reading the chat?
No, I wasn't. I was reading other things. I got bored.
You got bored?
A little bit.
That's okay. That's all right. We're all done.
Good. Well, it's been fun, guys.
It has been fun. Yeah.
I don't think anybody thinks EVS has the power to totally corrupt Indiegogo.
No.
Ethan doesn't even have the power to stand. That's why he's always sitting on streams. It's just because he can't get out of his chair.
Oh, God, you missed you didn't actually see the one clip where he got out of his chair. And,
oh, no.
And did, push-ups.
Gross.
Yeah, he managed to get out like 3 or 4 of them. His fucking pants down around his, down below his butt crack. He's got a gun.
Gross.
Like Ethan Ralph. Extremely gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not pretty, Dean.
Yeah,
but then again, Dean had to edit that Mega Random video.
That is true. I did.
Anyway, you guys have a great night. Thank you all for joining us.
Now CG will direct their anger at Vicky for reading the TOS.
Oh, they've been doing that for years. This is nothing new. Nothing new at all.
Yes. All right, guys.
Have a great one.
Fuck the chat. You all fucking suck. Good night.
See you next week.